Hey there, theater enthusiasts and curious minds. Welcome to our deep dive on practical theater.
Sounds exciting.
We're going to be looking at this Introduction to Practical Theater presentation.
Okay.
We'll unpack it all from acting techniques to the power of improv and how it can be relevant to everyone.
I think practical theater is so exciting because it goes beyond just acting.
Yeah,
It gives you valuable skills like communication, collaboration, and self-expression that you can use on or off the stage.
that's such a good point.
Yeah.
This presentation lays out three main goals:
Uh-huh.
mastering acting techniques, stagecraft, and becoming great at improv and collaboration.
It's fascinating how practical theater helps us understand human interaction.
Right.
Acting techniques are all about empathy and motivation.
Mm.
Stagecraft shows us how to create and see environments.
Okay.
And improv helps us to think on our feet.
Yeah,
And it helps us deal with all the unexpected things life throws at us.
so true. Before we go too deep into the details, can we clarify something? What exactly is practical theater?
It's all about getting hands-on with acting and stagecraft.
Okay.
It's an immersive experience where you learn by doing instead of just reading about it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like learning to ride a bike. You can read all the manuals, but nothing beats actually doing it.
Yeah.
This presentation highlights some great benefits of practical theater.
Oh,
You can develop skills that'll help you in any situation, giving a presentation or just chatting with friends.
totally. It also emphasizes how important collaboration is in theater, and let's face it, that's a crucial skill in every aspect of life. Plus, you learn to use the power of theater to become a better communicator.
Right.
That can really change how you interact with the world.
Yeah, it's like theater is a secret weapon for personal and professional growth.
That's a great way to put it.
Let's dive into the first part of the presentation, the art of acting, going beyond the surface. I'm interested in this concept of Stanislavski's system and method acting.
Okay. Stanislavski's system was developed in the early 1900s.
It emphasizes really understanding a character's inner world,
Okay.
like their motivations, their backstory, and their relationships.
Okay, yeah.
It's about really embodying the character.
Right.
Method acting goes even further.
Okay.
It encourages actors to use their own personal experiences and emotions,
Oh, interesting.
so they can create a really authentic portrayal.
So it's more than just pretending, it's about connecting with the character on a deeper level.
Yeah.
That must be really challenging.
It definitely takes a lot of vulnerability and self-awareness, but the results can be amazing.
It's incredible how much work goes into creating a believable character.
Yeah,
It's not just about emotions, right?
right.
This presentation mentions voice and speech training, physical techniques like movement and gestures, and even character analysis.
Right. It's about using your whole self to bring the character to life.
Wow.
You have to think of your voice as an instrument.
Uh-huh.
Through projection, articulation, and expression, you can convey so many emotions and intentions.
Oh.
And your body is important too.
Yeah.
Movement, gestures, body language, all of it helps to create a captivating performance.
So we have the emotional depth and physicality, but what about the world the character is in? That's where stagecraft comes in, right?
Right. Stagecraft is about the visual and technical parts that create the world of the play.
Mm-hmm.
It's like building a world from scratch using lights, sounds, costumes, and set design.
Wow.
Think about a play like Phantom of the Opera with all the sets, the lighting, and the costumes. They all work together to create that immersive experience.
It's amazing how those elements can transport you to a different time and place.
Yeah.
The presentation has a whole section on mastering the stage, more
Yeah.
than just a setting, which breaks down all the parts of stagecraft.
That's right. It starts with set design.
Mhm.
That's the foundation of the visual world.
Okay.
A good set design tells you the location, time period, and atmosphere of the play.
Right.
It puts the audience right into the story. It's like stepping into a painting. The set design gives you all the visual cues you need.
Exactly.
And then there's lighting design. It's like
Mhm.
setting the mood.
Mm.
It can create shadows, highlight certain characters, and make you feel different emotions just from the way the stage is lit.
Lighting design is like painting with light. You can use it to create focus, depth, and atmosphere. Think of a dimly lit stage with just one spotlight on a person that immediately makes it feel mysterious.
I love how lighting can tell a story without any words.
Yeah.
Can't forget about costume design either.
Right.
The way characters are dressed tells us so much about them, their social status, their personality, and their role in the story.
Costume design is like a visual shorthand for each character.
Okay?
Their clothes become a symbol of who they are and where they fit in.
It's like Each costume has its own story.
Uh-huh.
Finally, there's sound design and music.
Right.
These are often overlooked, but they play a big role in pulling the audience into this story and making the performance more emotional.
Think about the sound of a creaking door in a scary scene, or the music swelling at a big moment.
Yeah.
Those sounds add so much to the story.
It's like they create a soundtrack for the play's emotions.
Exactly. When it's done well, you barely notice it. It just blends right in and improves the whole experience.
So we've covered acting and creating a believable world on stage.
Yeah.
But what about when things don't go according to plan? That's where improv comes in, right?
Yeah, improv is all about dealing with the unexpected, thinking on your feet, and reacting in the moment.
Okay.
It can be both exciting and scary.
The presentation has a section called The Power of Improv, Thinking on Your Feet.
Right.
I have to admit, this is the part that both intrigues and scares me.
I think a lot of actors have a love-hate relationship with improv.
Yeah.
But it makes you be present in the moment, trust your instincts, and work with the other actors in a spontaneous way.
So it's like a mental and emotional workout.
Exactly. It's great for developing quick thinking, adaptability, and a sense of playfulness.
Those are all really valuable skills to have in life.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
can see how those skills would be useful in everyday life, like dealing with unexpected situations at work or thinking of quick responses in conversations.
Right. Improv teaches you to be okay with the unexpected and to find solutions on the spot.
Yeah.
And it reminds you that sometimes the unplanned moments are the best.
So we've talked about acting, stagecraft, and improv, which seem like individual skills.
Uh-huh.
But theater is all about collaboration.
Right.
And the presentation emphasizes that in this section. Collaboration, the heart of theater.
Theater is all about teamwork. It needs good communication, active listening, and respect between everyone. Everyone, from the actors to the stagehands, is important.
It's like a big puzzle where every piece matters.
Exactly.
What's beautiful is that everyone brings their own talents and perspectives,
Yeah.
which makes the final product so much better.
Uh-huh.
The presentation mentions group brainstorming and problem solving as being important parts of collaboration. It's fascinating how those skills are so useful in other parts of life, too.
Totally. Like at work or even with family.
Theater teaches you to listen to different opinions, to compromise, and to work together towards a common goal.
Those are all essential skills.
Yeah.
For building strong relationships and being successful in any team.
And it shows how important constructive feedback is, right?
You got it. It's about creating a safe space where people can share their ideas and get feedback that's helpful and encouraging.
Okay, so let's move on to communication skills beyond the stage. This is important because communication is the basis of any good relationship, personal or professional.
Absolutely. And theater is like a master class in communication.
Yeah.
It helps you develop public speaking, improve your listening, and learn to say what you think clearly.
So it's like taking all those awkward moments we've all had in conversations and turning them into learning experiences.
Exactly. It's about getting over those fears and becoming confident in expressing yourself.
The presentation also talks about storytelling, which I love. Storytelling is such a basic part of being human.
Yeah.
We use stories to share experiences, build relationships, and understand the world.
And theater gives you the skills to become a better storyteller.
Right.
It teaches you how to use your voice, body language, and imagination to really capture your audience.
Let's talk about the final section, self-expression, finding your voice.
Okay.
This is a powerful idea that theater can be a tool for self-discovery and personal growth.
It's amazing how theater creates a safe environment to explore your emotions, your identity, and your view of the world.
Right.
It's like a journey of self-exploration.
Yeah.
Where you learn to be okay with your vulnerabilities, try different ways of expressing yourself, and find your true voice.
I can see how that would be empowering, especially for people who have a hard time expressing themselves.
Definitely. Theater lets you be yourself without judgment, and it encourages you to express yourself freely.
Yeah.
It's about finding your truth and sharing it.
It's like a reminder that everyone has a story, and those stories are worth hearing.
Exactly. Theater gives you the platform, the tools, and the support to make those stories come to life.
Wow, we've covered so much.
We have.
It's incredible how this Introduction to Practical Theater presentation has shown us so much about theater and how it connects to our lives.
It really does.
It shows how transformative theater can be, both as an art form and as a tool for growth.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired to embrace my inner thespian and see how I can use some of these practical theater skills in my own life.
Me too. It's amazing how these techniques can be used in so many different ways.
Yeah.
For example, understanding stagecraft like lighting, set design, and costumes can help you make better presentations or design better workspaces.
It's like a new way of seeing things.
Right.
Who knew improv could be so helpful for personal and professional growth?
It all comes down to developing adaptability and creative problem solving.
Well, this deep dive has been a real eye-opener. I'm definitely inspired to try using these practical theater skills in my life.
I think you'll be surprised how often these skills come in handy. Just think about active listening.
Yeah, that's true.
It's so important for building relationships, fixing disagreements, and being more understanding.
You're totally right.
Yeah,
We could all use a bit more active listening.
definitely.
It's about really paying attention to what someone is saying,
Uh-huh.
understanding their point of view,
Mhm.
and responding in a way that shows you care.
It's about putting aside your own thoughts and really being there for the other person.
That's a great reminder. Active listening is at the heart of any strong connection,
It really is.
whether it's on stage, at work, or in our personal lives.
Absolutely.
It's a skill that we can always work on improving.
For sure.
I think that's a great place to pause our deep dive on practical theater for now.
I agree. This has been a great discussion, and I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it really is. It's like theater gives you this toolkit to help you in life.
It does.
More confidence, more creativity, more empathy.
For sure.
And speaking of tools,
Yeah.
this presentation has a section called Curtain Call, Practical Theater's Benefits.
Right.
And it sums up all the great things we've been talking about.
Yeah, it does. It reminds us that practical theater gives you real experience in acting and stagecraft. It helps you build those communication skills and encourages self-expression
Right.
and confidence.
Yeah.
Like we said, these skills apply to so many parts of life, not just on stage.
It's like theater's training for life.
Yeah, I like that.
And for finish it off, there's a section called Let's Discuss, Food for Thought,
Oh, yeah. I love this part.
which has some really interesting questions to think about.
It makes you think more about what we've learned and how it connects to our lives.
Okay, give me those thought-provoking questions.
Well, one that stands out is,
Uh-huh.
what's the difference between method acting and Stanislavski's system?
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah, it makes you think about those two techniques and how they approach building a character.
I admit, I get those two mixed up.
Yeah.
It seems like they both really focus on connecting with the character emotionally,
Uh-huh.
but method acting goes even further.
Right. Stanislavski's system is about understanding the character's goals and motivations.
Okay?
But method acting wants the actor to use their own personal experiences
Oh, okay.
to really become the character.
That makes more sense. So method acting is like searching your own emotions to find a real connection to the character.
Exactly.
Okay, what other questions did you find interesting?
This one really got me thinking. How does stagecraft impact the overall performance? It reminds us that stagecraft isn't just decoration.
Right.
It's part of telling the story.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about how lighting creates mood, set design takes us to other places, and costumes tell us about the characters.
Right.
They all work together to make a rich experience for the audience.
That's it. And when it's all done well, the impact can be huge.
Right.
It's like the difference between reading a story and being right there in the world of the story.
Okay, last question.
Yeah.
What really stood out to you?
Well, this one's simple but important. How can theater skills be applied outside of the stage?
Okay, yeah.
It asks us to think about how those artistic skills can be used in real life.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about being an actor.
Right.
It's about skills you can use everywhere in your life.
Exactly.
Whether you're talking to coworkers, giving a presentation, or even just talking to a friend.
It's about bringing that creativity, that presence, and that empathy into everything you do.
This deep dive has been so interesting. I'm already seeing how I can use these ideas. How about you?
Absolutely. Active listening is one of the most important things I've learned.
Oh, yeah.
It's essential in every part of life, but we often forget about it.
It's true. It's about really being in the moment,
Uh-huh.
hearing what someone is saying,
Yeah.
and responding in a way that shows you understand.
And it's about ignoring distractions and judgments and just being there for them.
That's a powerful thought. It's like active listening is what makes any real connection possible.
It is.
On stage, at work, in our personal lives, everywhere.
It is.
And it's a skill we can always work on.
For sure.
I think this is a perfect place to stop our deep dive on practical theater for now.
Me too. Hey, it's been a great talk, and I hope our listener has enjoyed it.
What's really cool is how these practical theater skills can help you in ways you wouldn't expect.
I know, right?
It's like you're not just going through life anymore.
Yeah.
You're more aware, more present.
More intentional.
Yeah.
It's true. You start noticing things you didn't before.
Like what kinds of things?
Like how people use their body language.
Uh-huh.
Or how silence can be powerful in a conversation.
Oh, that's interesting.
Or how important it is to make everyone feel heard.
Yeah, to really create that space for people.
Exactly.
And you're not so afraid to take risks anymore.
Right. You step outside your comfort zone.
You say, what if more?
You're open to new possibilities.
Yeah, exactly.
And that can lead to some amazing things.
That's so true.
I think one of the best things about practical theater is that it makes you want to keep learning, to keep challenging yourself,
To keep growing.
to never stop exploring what you're capable of.
To always push those boundaries.
Exactly.
So to anyone listening who's curious about practical theater, I say go for it.
I agree.
Take a class, join a community theater group, or just start using some of these techniques every day.
You might surprise yourself.
Yeah, you might find out you have a hidden talent.
Or a passion you never knew about.
That's it for our deep dive on practical theater.
It's been great exploring this with you.
Me too. I've learned so much, and I hope our listeners have too.
I hope so too.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. And remember, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep playing.